Hi, my name is Brittany Harb. I am just wrapping up on my first semester of my master's degree at Arizona State University. My degree is in program evaluation and data analytics, and I took this class with Dr. Harris because I wanted to further my understanding of how visualization can impact the interpretation of data. This class has taught me many new things, but one of the main ones is the idea of design theory and how it can be applied to visual communication to create successful designs. Design theory focuses on how to utilize perception, culture, and rhetoric to create design. Um, my personal favorite is the FOSS theory of visual rhetoric, which focuses on creating like symbolic repetition. So how can you tell the difference between a like an advertisement for a bank and an advertisement for a furniture store. So for these designs, I focused on using geometric designs in negative space to differentiate a commercial advertisement from a residential one. I also tried incorporating elements of the logo or color into the branding to create repetition to be memorable for the consumer. Um, I've also learned that there is much more psychology that goes into design than I originally thought. Um, and this is kind of seen throughout this process. So this can be pretty clearly seen in my first set of roughs and comprehensives for the residential insert. There's really not very much cohesion in the designs. Yeah, I really struggled with the ideation process on these two. However, going further into my sketches, as we see here, I started to realize that having an element in my design that created a connection with words on the insert and the emerged brand was important if the design was to be successful. That's when I started adding the plus signs. And I also started playing a little bit more with some geometric shapes that seem to work a little bit better than my original. Um, so my next challenge is creating a comprehensive design in Adobe Illustrator. Rough number 4, which we just saw, ended up being my best and strongest comprehensive design. I think that it was just very simple and it worked really well because of the simplicity of the design. Um, I was not particularly fond of it originally. However, after some edits, I must say I quite like the design. I think that the biggest lessons that I took away from this design were that it is important to listen to the client, that's you, because a simple change of font, removal of gradient, and change of color to the design looked so much better, um, as you can see here. Um, so for the residential brochure, which the ideation process for me became a little bit easier. While I still struggled greatly with the rough sketches, I found that the comprehensive process was much better. For the residential brochure, I kind of wanted to create an almost full feeling where all the space was being used in one way or another, but there's still a simplicity to the overall design. I found that the best way to do this, and this was also my favorite rough and comprehensive in the process, um, was to use the alignment and symmetry in a way that both keeps the eye moving across the pages, but also showcases the information in the text. I found that using a pattern and having the letters go back and forth from black and white allowed the design to have a full, to feel full and warm without being too busy. To be entirely honest, this is still my favorite design to look at. Um, I really enjoyed it. And I found that using the imagery of the fireplaces and the coziness kind of created a nice feeling. And having the repetition of the brand both on the inside and the outside was very important. Um, and then finally, for commercial brochure and insert, uh, this was probably the smoothest process of all the assignments, of all of these brochures and designs from start to finish. The biggest issue that I had with this one was creating ideas that would stand out from the residential brochure. Again, going back to that design theory, how do we differentiate? I ultimately decided that for the commercial brochure, it would be better you to use like a more simplified model. I really wanted to focus on negative space and creating some asymmetry with the geometric shapes. I thought this would really help kind of enforce the idea that this is for a place of work, not curling up on the couch with a warm cup of coffee. And I once again realized when I finished my roughs, which ones that I liked the best. But I'm very happy with the way that this one turned out. And yeah, I liked the triangles because it had a really good way of kind of drawing the eye to specific areas of focus. Um, and then for the insert, again, I found a way to utilize the plus signs in a way that was, I feel, a little bit more innovative, and I think ultimately looks a lot better. The one biggest challenge that I think I had with this was the spacing for the words. Because this was an asymmetrical design and it had a lot of triangles on it, it was quite a challenge to find a way to space the words in a way that made it look consistent and cohesive. And I just wanted to thank you for giving us this opportunity. I've been in school for quite a while, and having an opportunity to work with a real client is not something that happens very often. So thank you, and it's very much appreciated.